Hello, can everybody hear me? We're getting a lot of glare. 1 second. Wow, those are still looking pretty crazy bright. Can you hear me okay? Hello. Make sure I can text too. What do we got here? Hello. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so then. Can you even see that stuff behind me, or is it all just a blur like it is for me? Bratty Kitty, what are you doing? You can hear me all right? Maybe? Yes? No? Well, I hope you can. Just gotta turn off the volume on my phone and everything. What's your bratty ass cat? What are you doing? Well, can you hear me? Yes? No? Good sound? Awesome. How's the background behind me look, or is it all just a bunch of blurry lights like it is for me? A bit blurry? Yeah, that's what I was kind of thought. That's too bad. Kind of wish it would focus a little better, but I guess I would need like a really good camera for that. All right, I'm gonna flick those then. One moment. Blurry and gross. All right. All right then. Might just be your camera. No, it was looking really blurry for me too. All right. Well then. After a couple weeks of trying, here we are. And I finally figured out enough of this system to be able to show you my face and say hi, as well as sort of give an update on the stream in general. Tomorrow, I do have a plan to do a anime-related stream, just to talk about, the anime that I like, show you a couple that I own. I own a lot, actually. I have a huge wall of it over there. But I'm going to talk about just how I personally got into anime, and a lot of the different shows that I like. I'll give you, I'll hold them up, show them to you so you can see what they look like. Maybe you're familiar with them, maybe you're not. That way, we can discuss anime. We'll have discussions. People have seen the shows that I'm recommending, or if they want to name drop an anime in the chat, then we can discuss different anime. It'll just be a lot of fun. Great way to talk, get to know each other, share stories about our favorite animes, and all the hobbies we like in general. I also want to do a gaming retrospective in the near future. I haven't quite planned it out, but that one's going to be a collaboration with two of my other friends. So as soon as I get that plotted out more, I'll post the schedule for when that one will happen. It'll probably happen on a weekend as well. Bratty kitty, don't you dare do that. Hey, nope, hey. Cats are being misbehaving down here. So, anyways, yeah, I'm BotWhisperer. I've been doing streams for about 2 weeks now, and I've been trying to get. I haven't been able to have my face here, the chat here, as well as the overlays, during gameplay. I still haven't figured out how I can do that. It seems I can only have one running or the other, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm going to keep streaming without the overlays and things for now until I have a better idea as to how that's going to work. Yeah, I saw you. They saw you too, you bratty kitty. But anyway, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting that all sorted out so that way we can have a little more interaction during my streams. I've been streaming multiple games. I've done streams for Diablo 2 most recently. I've done I did an introductory stream for Ark. I've done some Jurassic World Evolution 2. And of course, I do Dead by Daylight, which is where BotWhisperer comes from, because as I'm sure a lot of people know, the really big Dead by Daylight streamers are the Fog Whisperers. And while I don't want to be one of them, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to be the BotWhisperer, because I like the bots and the offline play more so than most people do. But yeah, it's kind of a more relaxing thing to do, so that's why I was like, I'll be a BotWhisperer instead. Less stress that way. So yeah, that's where that comes from. And well, I will do a lot of Dead by Daylight streaming. I think kind of the majority of a lot of my streams, the longer streams, have been Dead by Daylight related. So yeah, but I am going to continue to play multiple games. I was playing Callisto Protocol. Some of you may remember. My Callisto Protocol was I was really sick at the time. I had bronchitis, and so that's, I'm sure what a lot of you heard was me hacking up my lungs half the time. And so I sort of put that stream on hold until I was feeling better and not coughing up my lungs so that, 90% of my audio won't be me coughing. And so I am going to get back to Callisto Protocol in the near future here right away, because despite getting over the bronchitis and the kids bringing the flu home and catching that, I am just getting over that now. So that's why I still have a bit of a cough. One illness right into another, but that's all over now for the most part. So I'm looking forward, like I said, to finishing up a lot of my streams. I do want to get back to Jurassic World Evolution 2 as well, as I was having a lot of fun with that, and that actually got more views than a lot of my other stuff. So that's definitely something I want to revisit and continue building my little Jurassic Park that I had going on in there. Yeah, so there's a lot to go on now. My schedule is very uppity, which is why I haven't really posted a streaming schedule. And like I said, with the illnesses lately, that's why I haven't really been on doing a lot of streaming at kind of, reasonable hours. I've been doing a lot of late night streams. Like my most recent one was because I was literally sick all day. Then I woke up late in the evening and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stream some Diablo 2, which I did for like an hour or two. And basically because that was all I had the strength to do because of the illness. But it's all, like I said, wrapping up now. So I'm looking forward to doing more streams. And hopefully posting more of a scheduled, like I say, streaming date. But yeah, tomorrow's the big one. That's going to be my first stream with just a chatting stream, no gameplays or anything like that, where we just sit down and discuss anime, because a lot of the people that I'm friends with on here, fellow streamers or just my followers, we're all really big into anime, and we're looking very forward to doing a lot of anime discussion tomorrow. So hope you join in for that. That'll be exciting. Bit about me. I got a bit of a family. Excuse me. I got a family, so that keeps me busy a lot too. So it's kind of hard for me to pick out specific times to do streams, but like I said, I'm still sorting all that out, and that'll all be a little more ironed out in the near future here. Uh, yeah, so it's nice to finally be seen on here, and I look forward to doing more face-to-face streams like this one on top of the gameplay. I'm probably going to do a gameplay stream here when I'm finished this one, just because, like I said, I haven't streamed in a while, and I do have a lot of different planned streams that I want to do there. I was doing a lot of streams where it's learning new killers, because there's some killers that I've played in my Dead by Daylight that I've, you got a good I have a very good grasp on, and I played a lot of them. But there's a lot of killers that I didn't play simply because I know that the learning curve on them was particularly difficult. Like, say, what was it, the nurse, for example. And I have played the nurse in several matches, but the first match I played with her, it was basically, well, all the matches I ever played. I only ever played 2 matches online with real people with the nurse, and that was specifically because I wanted to get the daily, the daily rituals or whatever for the blood points. It was like 60,000 blood points to kill a survivor with your by your hand with a Mori. I was like, well, I could probably kill at least one person, right? So I played the nurse, and I had to tunnel some poor person just to get my points, and felt bad about that, but it was like, well, it was 60,000 blood points. It was pretty good, and I ended up getting a 2K in that match, surprisingly, which was pretty good for a first time, like, ever playing the nurse. I had to learn everything from her in that one match. And my second, it popped up a ritual or 2 later. It was like, kill a survivor with the nurse. And I was like, okay, I could probably do it again. I did it before. And sure enough, that time I got a 4K with the nurse. But it was like, the match was like, I think, half an hour, if not longer. And it was bad on all fronts, because it was bad for me because I was terrible with the nurse. And it was bad for the 2 survivors because the last 2, I killed 2 survivors and there was only 2 left. And then they 3-gen themselves, and the gens were all right beside each other naturally. So as the nurse, I could just blink between, so they couldn't get any progress on the gens. But I was garbage with the nurse, so I couldn't catch them either. So it was just this really long and drawn out process before finally I managed to just wear them down, and I took the 2 of them out, and I got a 4K. But that was a really long and painful match, and I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do the nurse again. Until I have a much better understanding for how she works. So that's why I do a lot of, again, bot play, where I'm going to learn how to battle the bots and learn the new killers, such as the nurse, etc. I've already done one with the Oni. He was the first one I did, and that was a really fun character, actually. I didn't think the Oni would be that much fun to play as. And he was actually pretty cool. So I played several offline matches with him, and I did another one for the Trickster, which was, I call them Let's Learn a Killer. All of my streams get uploaded to YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel, which is BotWhisperer. Not BotWhisperer 1 like I am on here, but just BotWhisperer. And so if you want to check out my past streams, as well as all my previous, before I became a streamer, because like I said, I've only been doing this for about 2 weeks now, and everything from before then is all saved on YouTube. I used it to save all my matches, and well, not all of them, but a lot of them. So if you go in there, I have playlists, and you'll see, Dead by Daylight as the killer, and then I think there's like 200 plus matches. So you can see my very first matches. You won't hear me talking or anything because I didn't really know to include audio or think to do it, because, like I said, I was just saving the matches for my own personal use. But now that I'm streaming, people might want to see them. I've been thinking about doing some other content, going back, maybe rewatching a lot of them, because I have gone back and rewatched some of my first matches as a killer, and it's like, damn. And I can see my mistakes and this and that. So what I would like to do at some point is go back and rewatch them and sort of do a audio over the match, and sort of watch and react to my own mistakes and the mistakes I see survivors make and things like that, and just be like, oh, well, this is how I would counter that now as compared to before. Because I watched my some of my first matches. I'm like, my God, I make mistakes that there's no way in hell I would make now, just having played so many more matches. But yeah, so you can go back and check those out. I have a list for survivors as well. I also have lists for my favorite matches, which will be taken from the killers and the survivor lists, and they'll be clumped together. So if I'm particularly proud of a certain match as a killer or as a survivor, you'll see it in that list. So it's kind of my favorites for whatever the reason. So there's that. I do have, like I said, I did the Onis video, which was like Let's Learn a Killer is what I titled them, and they are on the YouTube as well. And I also recently did Trickster. He's the most recent one. Didn't really like the Trickster all that much. It's just, I don't know. I just could not get into it. It was like the Oni. I went into the Oni thinking I wasn't going to like him. I was going to think he was going to be kind of frustrating and annoying to learn, but he was actually pretty straightforward, and he was a lot of fun to use. And then the Trickster, I was kind of like, whatever, I'll give the Trickster a try, because I'm going to play them all at some point. And so I played the Trickster, and I really just didn't like it. I got a very good idea for how the mechanics worked, but I just really didn't care about it. And in the video, you'll hear me explain that. But so that was the Trickster, and then I'm going to probably do, I have agreed, I was talking to a couple people, they want me to do the Wraith next, because I've only ever played, I played one Wraith online. Again, it was to do a daily challenge for the Wraith, and that was my first online game, and my only online game with the Wraith, and I got a 4K on that one, so I didn't do too bad with him, but I'm still gonna try to mess around with him in the bots and just sort of learn some of the mechanics, because people have told me as well that if you shine the flashlight on the Wraith, it like burns and like reveals him if he's invisible and stuff. I had no idea. I don't think I've even ever seen somebody do that. So that was news to me. So I'm gonna try stuff like that out. As well as just discuss some various things that the bots have. I've noticed that the bots have learned, because I don't think a lot of people give attention or that much credit to the bots. Most people, the general consensus is that the bots are really stupid. And I would say, yeah, okay, sure, fair enough, the bots are fairly stupid, but the bots have done some incredibly intelligent things that I haven't seen even human survivors do, and human survivors cannot do. My first and foremost would be the day the bots came out, and it would be in my stream, one of my very first streams, where I was playing, I think, the Huntress, and we were in the Garden of Joy, and we were in the house, and I was chasing the bot. She dove out the top story window, and I went right after her. I wasn't close enough to hit her as she went out the window, but I was really close, and I stepped out the window right after her, and she used a flashlight to blind me directly from below. Because the time it would have taken her to vault the window, she would have been hitting the ground about the time I was crawling out, and she hit me directly from below with the flashlight. I wasn't even staring down at her. I was staring straight forward like you do when you jump out the window. And the flashlight came up, and I swear to God, it was 99.9% blinding. She didn't fully get like the actual blind, because I think I fell too fast towards her and she had to get out of the way. But the fact is that she hit me from that angle, and she almost succeeded, is something I've never seen a human player do. And the bot was able to almost pull it off. Like I said, half a millisecond longer, and I would have been fully blinded by it. It was a crazy hit. So there's a lot of things the bots can do that I don't think people have seen, because they just don't bother to play with them. So I've learned a lot about them, and I'll share my fun experiences with those. And as I said, because I'll be playing a lot of bot matches, you'll get to see things with me and sort of learn about them as well at the same time. For example, on other maps like the Coldwind Farm, a lot of times the bots will run around the big thresher machines, and they sort of run against the side of them on the spot running when you're chasing them. And something that I've learned is actually they're not well, they are stuck there, yes. But the reason that they run against the spot there is whenever you see a bot doing that, look above them, and they're actually trying to vault the there's a vault location that's up at the top of the machinery. You know how you run up the back of the machine and you have the vault location to the left and the right? That's actually what they're trying to access. They're trying to access the vault location to get away from you when you're chasing them. The only problem is that bot, isn't smart enough, unfortunately, to tell that the vault location is higher up. They just see the vault location and they don't seem to understand why they can't reach it, and that's why they run on the spot there. But it's just things like that I've picked up on just playing with them for the long time. People just think they're stupid, but they're really not that stupid. I think with a little bit of tweaking from Behavior, who's the developer, obviously, they could come a long way and make some bots that are really, really dangerously intelligent and lethal. I've also seen them use perks that, because supposedly they don't have perks. Well, I know they have boil over because they kick like mules the second you pick them up, and I'm sure anybody will tell you that. I've also seen them heal themselves. I've seen them use fireworks, to blind. And like I said, when they get that flashlight, they're really deadly with the flashlight when they decide they want to use it on you, because they click that on your face, and it's like they have like 100% accuracy. If you look at them, you get blinded, and they can actually blind you twice in the amount of time that only a regular survivor can blind you once. Because I've been double hit with the flashlight in the same amount of time. Like, they are lethal with those flashlights. And anybody who's ever had a bot take the flashlight to you as the killer in bot play, you got to admit, they lock that shit on your face, and it's like they're like, no. You'd be like 2 feet away from them. It's like click, and they're just like on you, and you're going blind. You have to like look away. Like, they're crazy with that flashlight. So I think if they were to tweak their behaviors just a little bit and sort of, I don't know how to get in touch with Behavior to show them these sorts of things. I suppose maybe I could post it on a video on their site or something. But anyway, the point is there's lots of little things that the bots could receive as tweaks that would really boost them and make them really dangerously hard to take out. I have had actually 4 bots escape. And you might say, well, you must be terrible at the game. No, like I've just literally been outmaneuvered by 4 bots. I had a lethal build too, and they just they gen rushed and they flashlighted and they did everything they needed to, and they escaped. It was really crazy. So it can happen. They can pull some pretty crazy moves out of their little their AI if given the chances to. So that's what I like about the bots, and it's also a nice way to play to not just learn the new killers, but just a relaxing way to play when, if the game on the online is just maybe, as people say, it's too sweaty or it's too stressful, then, it's a nice way to relax and just sort of play the game in a unstressful fashion, because they're not, the bots, even if they did outmaneuver you, you can't set the difficulty on the bots. No, you can't. That's been the biggest thing that everybody wants to see, is like a difficulty, like an easy, medium, and a hard mode. That would be really cool. Personally, I always thought what would be great was if you had a bot for, say, Meg or like Leon, for example. Like, I use Leon as a survivor and he can show up as a bot. If Leon as a bot showed up, I would like it if he had the perks that I have equipped to Leon, so that if I'm playing as the killer against Leon, he's a bot, but he also has the perk build that I use, which would make him, a lot. It would be interesting, because then I'd be essentially playing against myself, and that would be really interesting. So I'm sure that Behavior is probably working on things like that. They still haven't added offline bot killers, so you can't play with friends only as survivors and go up against a robot killer yet. That will be something that they said they are working on. They're just having trouble adapting the AI to learn all of the killer's special moves, because there's like 30 killers now, I think, and each of them have their own special, like The nurse, for example, will be really horrible to play against as a robot, I think, because she blinks through the walls, right? So, I mean, a computer killer of that will be like almost unstoppable because she can literally just hone in exactly where you are. Like, that's going to be crazy hard to get away from. I think even more so than a human player. But yeah, so there's a lot of AI that the computer needs to learn, a lot of techniques that the AI computers need to learn in order to be successful bot killers. And so apparently that's why we don't have the bot killers yet, but they have assured us that, it's on the way. It's just going to take a little longer, which I'm fine with. I have plenty of time to learn. I have a lot of killers to learn how to play still. So that's all fine with me. Even the killers I have no intention of playing. I will do videos on them simply because a lot of them I just don't play as. Like, I don't play as Bubba, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't play him just because I don't like him as a character. Not so much like because of the movies or anything. Like, the movies, like, whatever, they're fine, but I just don't find him as a killer appealing to play as. But I'm still going to play them in the videos for what do we call it? The Let's Learn a Killer, because I have played them. I have played Bubba to moderate success, but at the same time, he was nothing that I was particularly fond of. But I know other people might not, might be curious, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that with all the killers. Even Myers, who I hate, because I just think I hate Myers as a freaking killer. I think he's the laziest killer in the game, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I'm gonna play all the killers, and we're gonna have lots of fun with that. And eventually, when the bots killers do show up, then I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of streams playing against the bot killers to see what their AI is like, because that's a lot of fun for me. And a lot of my friends are a little more casual and don't necessarily enjoy playing only online either. And they'll be with me playing the offline bot killers as well. So it'll be interesting to see if it's more fun to play against a human killer who might be, a little sweaty, as they like to say the terms, in comparison to a bot who is literally just like this ruthless Terminator who's literally programmed to just kill you and, won't let people survive matches like a human killer might. So, yeah, that's something in the future to look very forward to. I'm counting the days until whenever they release that. They haven't given us an official word, unfortunately, so I guess we're all just waiting to see what happens. But that's that. Yeah, so that's Dead by Daylight. Aside from that, I've also got a lot of my matches. You'll notice, especially around the holidays and anniversary events, I have done. I do the friendly killer matches, which is really good for me. Usually, what'll happen is if I'm playing as Survivor online, of course, you'll notice that I get a lot, anybody. You'll notice there's days where the killers are just like so ruthless, it seems, and so angry, and you start the match, you're the first person to go down, they put you on the hook, and then they just start whacking the hell out of you on the hook, and they just like everybody seems really angry and tense. Whenever I get those kinds of vibes from the games or just from people in chat talking about it, I will tend to just say, okay, you know what, it's time to friendly killer a bit. And the first time I did it was during the 6-year anniversary, and I noticed I played a lot of matches, and I did notice a lot of killers were playing it really hostile, and I play the killer a lot too. I would probably be a killer main for the most part. The only reason I play so many survivor matches is because all my friends, they're like, let's play, so we play as survivors together. So that's probably the only reason I play Survivor more than I play Killer. But yeah, whenever I see that the community is kind of stressing, or I hear a lot of talk about how nasty the killers are being, I just say, okay, you know what? It's time for a friendly killer match, and the anniversary was the first time, and so I got a build for it. A Freddy build was the first person I tried to use the friendly killer with, and I picked perks that. And it's like I say, whenever people see my friendly Freddy build, they're always like, "That's a horrible build. That's like that you like massacre people with that." It's like, well, yeah, you can, but cat, she bit my foot under the chair. Bratty kitty, slap your butt. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, the friendly killer build is actually, and if you watch my streams, I did it for the holidays as well. And so you do things like hex plaything, which means if you hook someone, they get a hex totem to stifle their abilities and things. Pentimento, and pentimento means if somebody breaks a totem, then I can immediately replace it with another one that oppresses their abilities to repair generators and heal each other, etc. And then I take Fearmonger, which prevents them from running fast. If they start working on a gen, they immediately become exhausted, so they can't run fast. And then Lightborn. And everyone says that's like a really kind of nasty build. Not like one of the worst, but that's like a really hardcore build. But if you think about it in a positive way, it's actually a very nice build for survivors, because when I'm playing as a friendly killer, you once you've established friendly relations with a survivor and they're working on a generator, you they will offer themselves up for free hits and hooks. So you grab a survivor, put him on a hook, and then automatically a totem on the map is lit up with plaything. So then you get that survivor's attention. You take them to that totem, they get to cleanse it. Then you go back to it and you reactivate it as a new hex with Pentimento. And now the customer standing there is like, whoa, now they get to cleanse a second totem. That boosts their points a lot for cleansing totems, right? So boom, they've already cleansed 2 totems. I've got an in cap and a hook off of that. Now I go to the next person, we do the same thing. They get in capped, hooked, and then they go and they cleanse their 2 totems. So everything you're doing is boosting all of their points significantly, and they really appreciate that, right? In the end, because every totem you cleanse gets you a lot of points. You get even more if it's a hex totem. So that's the way Pentimento and Plaything, though sounding very horrifying and oppressive, and they can be when you use them like in a lethal thing, because if I was literally using that build and decided to become hostile, I can use that very efficiently to trash a group of people. But as you can see, it can also be used in a very positive way, surprisingly. And then, of course, you get Fearmonger. Fearmonger simply, prevents them from running away. What? Bratty ass kitty. Fearmonger basically just prevents them from running away when you're trying to befriend them at the start of the match, because, people are obviously going to run from the killer. Well, if they have Fearmonger, they can't run extraordinarily fast. They have to kind of jog away, and that gives you a little more time to sort of show that you're not being hostile towards them, or you're not going to be. And so that's literally the only reason for that. And then Lightborn just prevents out of control flashlight stuns, etc., especially if towards the end of the match, if you've given them a lot of gens and maybe they're not so keen on letting you hook them, you can start dropping people and putting them on hooks anyway. And Lightborn is basically to protect you from getting the flashlight blinding, etc. So it's kind of an ace in the hole thing for you. It lets them know that despite the fact that you're being friendly, it still is. It's enough of a. I could still be potentially dangerous if you take too good of advantage of my friendly nature. So that kind of keeps that in check. But yeah, that's the friendly Freddy build that I use. I've used it with the clown. I've used it with the pig. Psst, get your butt down from there. Hey, bratty kitty. So yeah, anyway, that's the, you stupid cat. 1 second. Being a brat. So this is Reno Kitty. She's a pretty baby kitty. Yes, she is. Mwah. So you will behave. So yeah, anyway, that's the friendly killer build. I use it anytime I'm using a killer that's friendly, and I have experimented with other killers trying to make them friendly, but some killers just are not accepted as friendly, no matter how much you want to pretend to be a friendly killer with them. For example, nobody will trust Bubba as a friendly killer. Nobody. Why? Because 9 times out of 10 he's an asshole. So, and that chainsaw is way too dangerous to be trusted because he could just destroy everybody instantly if he wants to. So nobody will accept Bubba as a friendly killer. Nobody will accept, what's his name? Pinhead. Nobody will accept Pinhead as a friendly killer. Basically, it comes down to if your killer is an ambush killer or somebody who can destroy people in one hit through stalking to expose them, like Ghostface or especially Myers. Nobody will trust Myers because the guy can literally look at you, fully stalk you, and then stab you to death instantaneously. Nobody's going to trust that as a friendly killer, so there's just no point in trying, though I have. So yeah, so you'll see me play a lot of friendly killer matches. Long story short, that's the moral of this story, is that you will see me play a few friendly killer matches, especially if the games are getting really frustrating. It's a good way to pick myself up. Actually, I find if things are getting really stressful, it's just like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna do some friendly matches and make a few other people's days better. And I just think it should be more like that. I've had a few friendly killers myself, but not too many. And it's really nice when you do meet them because it's like, hey, not every game has to be completely serious. So yeah, my more recent one, actually, hilariously enough, I was playing against a group of people who just did not want to be either trusting or friendly with me in the match. So the match was like 90% of me chasing them down the hall, saying, "Come back and love me," and they were just running away. And I was like, "Here, you can work on the generator," and they would turn and bolt. And then I'd down them and I'd take them back and I'd plop them on the ground and I'd hit the generator a few times, like, "Hey, fix the generator." Pick them up and then they just tear off down the hallway. It was pretty funny. Oh, you smelly kitty! You bite me. So yeah, you get a lot of interesting scenarios with the friendly killer thing. Um, and then yeah, so other than all that, that's kind of the extent of my Dead by Daylight. The question I probably get asked more than anything about Dead by Daylight is, do I ever play, you know, outside of the bots? And I mean, despite everything I've already discussed, which I think would prove that I do, that's the question I'll answer now, just because it is one that's probably asked more than anything is, well, do I only play with bots? No, I don't only play with bots. And it's like I told those people, the vast majority of you will probably see me playing as, hey, Lexus is here. Everybody say hi to Lexus. Lexus is a fellow streamer and she's totally awesome, so you should check out her channel when you're not looking at mine, because she's got some awesome stuff and she's lots of fun. So yeah, but like I said, I do play with the bots. That is my preferred way and probably one of the only ways I would play. However, the vast majority of all my friends are online players and I do play with them. It's not like I play the bots or prefer the bots because I'm afraid of online matches. No. Like I said, go back through my YouTube and you'll see that I have no problems facing human survivors or vice versa, human players as killers. It doesn't bother me. I'll do either or. But my preferred and more fun method is with the bots, which is why I took the name BotWhisperer. So that's that. Outside of there, yeah. I have streamed other games. I streamed the Resident Evil series a while back, actually. Some of my first streams were playthroughs of those. So I did the Resident Evil the Resident Evil remakes 1 through 3. And I also did Resident Evil 7 in VR because VR is awesome. And it's a great way to play Resident Evil. To be in the horror game is just so much more better than just playing it on a screen. Even though that's still a great way to play it if you've never played any of them. I still have to do Resident Evil 8 The Village, but I haven't done that one yet. I suppose maybe I could do that one in the near future here. It would be, it's definitely worth taking a look at as well, and it would tie up the storylines for the games quite nicely. I've thought about doing Skyrim at some point, but that one's just such a huge game that it's kind of like, meh, whatever. I might dabble in that one now and again. Um, like, yeah. I've done Ark Survival Evolved, which is a really good game. I haven't played a lot of it recently as I started getting more into Dead by Daylight again as well. So, whatever. But I will be going back to Ark. My sister actually just got herself a PlayStation. That's what I stream my gameplay footage through, is the PlayStation, not on PC. So whenever I'm doing like a sit around chat thing like this, you'll see me, I'll be doing this on my PC. Whereas if you see me streaming gameplay, it'll be on the PS5. There are a few games I have on Steam. Like I have one called, the hell is it called? Hard Time, which is a pretty funny little prison game. And I've thought about streaming that one on the PC here because that's the only way you can play it. And that one I could probably do through here, so that's something I might consider doing in the future. But I have no immediate plans to do that anytime soon. As I've said, there's still so many more games. I have to go back and finish my Callisto Protocol. Gonna do more of my Jurassic World. So there's a lot of games to keep me busy. Also, the end of next month, we're going to be seeing the Dead Space remake. And Dead Space was a game that I think when it first came out, and that was like Xbox 360, so like 2 generations ago. So a lot, like 20 something years, I think, probably by now. And I think I started playing it because it was a horror game, but I never really got into it. And then over the years, I've sort of looked back and always been like, I should have really tried that game out maybe and given more, because everybody talks about it as being like one of these like I don't know what the word would be. It's pretty legendary. That's the only word I can use to describe it. Everybody, if you say Dead Space, people immediately know what you're talking about. It's a horror game. It was in space, and it was incredibly well received. And it was just one of those ones that kind of slipped under the radar for me initially. So that's one that I am definitely looking forward to, the remake of it. Same game, to my understanding, just updated graphics. Like I said, 20 years later or whatever. So that comes out at the end of January, and I've got my copy already prepaid and reserved. So as soon as that one comes out, I will be bringing that here, and I will be playing that one all the way through. That one I'm looking very, very forward to, actually. In fact, when Callisto Protocol was first announced and I was watching the footage in the trailer, I actually was like, is this Dead Space? Is this the remake? Because I heard there was a Dead Space remake. I was like, this must be what this is. Okay, I can't wait to play this. And I was like, oh, it's the Callisto Protocol. Okay. So there's that. Yeah, but very close. I think a couple of the Dead Space people made the Callisto Protocol, which is why that's such a close reference or close misunderstanding as to which was which. But yeah, so end of January we're gonna have Dead Space to go through. That'll be fun. Then in come February, provided it doesn't get pushed back again, there's the Harry Potter Legacy game, which is coming out, which is going to be a pretty big one, and I'm looking very forward to that one. That one will be a lot of fun to play, I think, and get into, and we'll see how that goes. Then we've also got in March is the Resident Evil 4 remake. It's being released finally. And I never played the original Resident Evil 4. I saw it. It didn't come all that appealing to me. Again, when I do a bit of a gaming retrospective, that's going to be something that I'll probably talk a lot about. Maybe even do just a strict Resident Evil retrospective, because Resident Evil as a series, I mean, I could talk endlessly about that series. It's a huge series for me. So I'll probably talk about quite a bit about that one. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 I skipped over, as I said, just wasn't interested at the time it came out. And now that it's being remade, and looking at the quality of the original remakes for 2 and 3, which I just was very adamantly against when I first heard about that, because it's like, you don't need to remake something that isn't broken. And Resident Evil 2 was amazing as a game. And when I played the demo for it that came out, you were allowed like a half hour playthrough of the demo or something, where you could run around the RPD and everything. And just playing that, I was like, wow, they really captured everything that I loved about Resident Evil 2. And so I was sold on it. And the day it came out, I had it home and I was playing through it, and I just loved it. And that was why I was like, they need to remake 3. And sure enough, they did. And I picked that one up too, and I liked that one as well. So that's why I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm feeling the remakes. 4 is on its way out, and I'm going to give that one the playthrough, the one that everyone says is the best Resident Evil game ever, though personally, I don't think that'll even be possible. But I didn't play it, so we'll see what happens. So that's the Resident Evil game coming out. That one's in March. So every month I've got something to play and look forward to. Although Dead by Daylight will probably still be a huge factor in there, because, like I said, so many of my friends and everything play the Dead by Daylight. So there's that. Well, we've been going for a little bit here. I'm not quite sure how long. Oh, there it is. For 56 minutes. So here's what we'll do. My throat is dry, so I'm going to go grab a drink, and I will be right back. Just everybody hang tight. Grab yourself a drink, too. We'll come back in about 5 minutes, let's say, and we'll continue on. All right, be right back, folks. All right, welcome back. Didn't take quite as long as I thought it would, so here we are. Yeah, so... Oh, wait 1 second. I just remembered something. I will be right back.
Are you done? Where are the cats?
All right. Yeah, no, I just had this slight tickle in my throat, and that reminded me that I need to take the pills to make that stop happening. So, all right, we're back. So yeah, there's a lot to do, a lot coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's some other things I have planned out. A friend of mine who also streams, she goes by the name Tick Bite Jackson. You should check her stream out as well if you haven't. She's a really awesome creator, and she's got a lot of fun streams she does. And she did a cooking stream once where she made some pies, and another one where she made a type of soup. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, and that's why I was comparing recipes with her, and that's why I thought maybe I want to do a stream where I can show, because I'm Canadian, of course, where I can show you guys how to make a poutine, which is really awesome. So that'll be a lot of fun, I think. So that's something I want to do at some point. Um, so yeah, that'll be a fun little recipe one to do. Very easy to make, very delicious once it's done. Yum, as in the chat. Hell yeah. So says my wife. She'll be the one who gets to eat it, other than me. So yeah, it's a good stream win for her. Other than that, yeah. As you can see behind me, I've got the arcade machines because I've been building my own little arcade down here. At some point, we'll maybe do a walk around, look at the arcade machines, and if I can figure out a way to do it, I mean, I suppose if I set up a camera at the right angle, we could probably play some of them and stream that. That would be kind of cool, I guess. Play some arcade games. That'd be kind of fun. I've got quite a few. For Christmas, the recent one I got was right behind me, over there, The Simpsons, which is really fun. And I also got NBA Jam now, which was over here, which was a Boxing Day sale for like $360 or something. So that was a hell of a steal, considering the thing looks brand new. So big win for me there. So I got a lot of games to play, a lot of really nice ones. One of my other followers, I think we were talking about Turtles in Time, which you can see over my shoulder right over there. And yeah, I got Turtles in Time and the original TMNT one as well, which is a really fun arcade machine to play. So yeah, there's a lot of gaming potential here. I also have a lot of old retro games. I've never thrown anything away. I've been a gamer my whole life. And as I said, when I do my gaming retrospective, which I'm going to talk to my other streamers, Tick Bite Jackson actually being one of them, and I think Alexis, we're going to discuss some of that because I'd like them to sort of collaborate, and maybe the three of us stream it all together would be a lot of fun. And we're just going to do a retrospective talk about where we started out as gamers, the first games we played, and compared to what we have now, etc., etc. That one's going to be sorted out over the next few weeks. It's been very busy with Christmas and everybody's, and like I said, I've been sick this whole time, so there's just been too much going on. But now that everything's kind of mellowing out, hopefully we can sit down and we can discuss some of the finer points, and then see if they want to collaborate on me with that, which I hope they do. And it'll just be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot like this, a sit down, a chat, and we'll sort of take a look at the history of our personal gaming histories and talk with the viewers about theirs, and yeah, just have a lot of fun with that, I think. So that'll be exciting. Outside of all that, there's not a whole heck of a lot left. There's a lot of movies and things we could talk about at some point. I mean, as you can see back there, that's the movie collection right there. And that's only like half of what I have. And about what you're seeing there with the DVDs for the movies, I've got probably just as much for anime. I have over 250 anime series that I personally own on DVD and Blu-ray. So for the anime stream tomorrow, like I said, we'll get more into that for sure. But as it is now, we've got a lot. I think we've covered a lot of ground, and yeah, not really sure what else there is to talk about. So I think we could probably wrap up now. It was nice to get to talk to you all. Oh, yeah, as I said, I'm sorry if any of my followers have been watching or confused because I've had a lot of like test streams that have popped up. A lot of the times that I'm doing that, it's just me trying to learn how to do the computers, and then I find out like 2 minutes into it that it started streaming somehow, and I'm like, oh crap. So then I'm switching it off. So if you guys keep getting like all these like, oh, he's streaming now, oh, but he's really not. I'm sorry if that's caused confusion or problems for anybody. That's not my intention, obviously. It's just been, I'm terrible with technology and I'm trying to learn stuff. And sometimes the damn stream starts whether I want it to or not. So it's like, okay. But here we are, and this one seems to be functioning perfectly fine now, so I'm really happy about that. So I know I can definitely do sociable chatting, streams like this face to face with y'all, even if I can't do it during the gameplay yet. But that is my end goal. So as soon as I have that all figured out, expect to see that. Expect to see my face and the popping up in the stream. Look forward to finally ironing out all those details. In the meantime, oh hey there's Shad. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. This is my meet and greet that I finally figured out how to get the camera working, how to get some of the overlay stuff working. So thanks for popping in. Nice to see ya. Shad is actually somebody I met recently, and he has agreed to edit some of my previous stream videos as he's interested in becoming an editor, and he wants to he's practicing on my junk. So we'll see if once we get some stuff to share, we will definitely be posting that out on the YouTube channel, so you can see that. He's already shown me one edit, and it was really good, so looking forward to seeing what we can come up with together in the near future. I also, during my Wraith Let's Learn a Killer, the Wraith stream, which I want to do coming up. Shot is a Wraith main, as I seem to remember, and would like in on that. So if he gets in on that stream, then he's going to give me pointers on how to successfully play the Wraith and, take it to the bots and then eventually the real survivors. So lots to go on there as well. How have you been, Shad? Doing good? Get my drink here. Gotta stay hydrated. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot. Been pretty busy with family over Christmas. Yeah, I hear you. Overall, you're fine. That's good, dude. How are you? Well, I got sick again over Christmas. Christmas Day, I think I slept. Oh God. I think we got up, we did the presents and everything, and by 10 o'clock in the morning, I was back in bed, and I think I slept until like 9 o'clock that night. It was bad. So, but everybody was sick. Yeah, But we're on the upswing now. Everybody's getting better. I'm sitting up here now, which is really good. So just discussing a lot of the upcoming content I want to do, for streams with, as far as Dead by Daylight goes, Resident Evil, and everything else. Yes, finally, she says. Finally, everything's getting better. But, see, Shad, look behind me. I got my, over here. I got my Simpsons arcade machine for Christmas. And I also got NBA Jam on a Boxing Day sale for like $360, so that was awesome. I made like a bandit. Oh yeah, very epic. So yeah, lots of exciting things going on, and I just talked about some of the upcoming streams, a lot of the games I want to do, and this and that. So we've had a pretty good last little hour and something. So yeah. Also discussed some my upcoming anime stream, which is going to be tomorrow. Where it's going to be just like this. It's going to be a sit around and chat, and I'm going to talk about a lot of my anime and the things that really got me into anime, my favorite shows that I own, etc., things I want to see but haven't yet, things like that. So that'll be tomorrow. That'll be fun. And yeah. So lots to go on and lots to do. Other than that, right now I don't really think there's a whole lot much else to talk about. I think I've covered pretty much everything I can. Sounds fun. I'll be there if I find the time. Are you referring to tomorrow? Like the anime stream tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be probably a little later in the day. Probably it won't be around this time. It's probably going to be a later stream, an evening stream when it's quieter. My kids will all be in bed and everything. So tomorrow evening, I think, is what it's gonna end up being. Probably about my time. I think about 9 or 10 p.m. Probably around then. And maybe started around then. So that's like depending on what time zone people are in. What's my time currently? Yeah, that's what I was just checking. It's 2 p.m. for me right now. So tomorrow, 7 hours from now, that's about when it'll be. I am gonna post it. I am gonna go into my schedule, my and actually post it there, so people can. So 5 a.m. for you. Bummer. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so that's when I'm gonna post that one, and it'll be nice. It'll be a relaxing stream. Maybe have some snacks or something, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, man. That'll be tomorrow. And as I said, I'm going to do a little bit of Dead by Daylight streaming today, I think, right after this one. But like I said, I don't have the overlays or my face. It'll just be me and my microphone getting chatty. But yeah, that'll be what we do there. So yeah. As I said, thanks for everybody tuning in. I hope you learned a bit about me and a bit about the schedule. It's, to be determined. And I hope you keep watching. And if you see anything you like, check it out. Also, is it just me or is the audio better? It could be better. I'm using my laptop right now, actually. And so everything's being recorded through that. So it could be that the audio is better. But yeah, I am going to do some Dead by Daylight streaming. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Yeah, we were fighting a lot with the audio earlier. That's been the biggest problem today, was getting the audio working. But I wanted to make absolutely sure, and that's another reason I'm doing this kind of meet and greet, stream right now, is just to ensure that by tomorrow when I need to stream, that it's actually functioning already and working, so I don't have to worry too much about this. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this stream. Another reason why it's also good just to put this out there, because I've had a lot of like I said, while I was fine tuning my technology, there was a lot of just streams that popped up for like 15 seconds and I didn't even know they were doing it, and then I go to my creator dashboard and there's like 5 freaking 3-minute streams in there. I'm like, damn it. So this is a good way to come in and show that, hey, I'm kind of learning to do this properly, and this is the way what to expect in the future. So yeah, so cool. My preemptive strike has worked, and this stream has been successful, and I've made it up to 2 viewers, so that's always good. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow during the anime stream there's even more. I'm gonna spread the word through my friends, and I'm sure they will come and take part in it as well. They've already expressed interest, so that'll be cool. And so hopefully tomorrow's stream will be a real successful one. We'll get a lot of people talking about anime shows and this and that. I'm really looking forward to it, as I am a lot of my other upcoming streams. So yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. As I said, I'm BotWhisperer, and if you want to check out my previous stuff, it's all on YouTube. BotWhisperer is the name of my channel there. So, yeah, you have a great rest of your day too there, Shad. Nice to see you again. Take care. And, yeah, thanks for everybody else tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the streams and the games coming up. Take care, and goodbye.